What's up, YouTube? My name is Big Boy Snatch on TV. Welcome back to the channel. And tonight I'll go over my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the video, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content because I'm on the road to 7K. I'm known with that 3K watch hours. Follow my social media down below in the description. And let's get started. That AEW Dynamite was a good show, and I give it a solid B. That's all I gotta say. AEW Dynamite was live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Time to celebrate 5 years of AEW Dynamite. We open with a vignette, vig, vignette where Pac, Claudio Cascanoy, Maria Shafir, and John Moxley address Real Yuta's indecision to side with them over Brian Danielson. John Moxley focused on Brian Danielson himself, offering the champ an opportunity to fall on his shield when he defeats Brian Danielson for the AEW World Championship at Wrestle Dream. We cut to ringside where commentary greets us before Ricochet heads out to the ring for our opening contest. Ricochet enters the ring ready to challenge for the AEW International Championship as we cut backstage to see Will Ospreay getting ready. Don Callis briefly cuts him off before saying the family, including Kyle Fletcher, are about to head out. Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher walk away as Will Ospreay leaves for the ringside area, while Kanushka Takeshita looks on with a smile. We with that, Will Ospreay heads out to the stage to a big reaction. The champ making his way to the ring before this match gets underway. Alright, so we get the AEW International Championship match. Will Ospreay defends against Ricochet. This was a good match. The two men start off in the corners to a pop from the crowd, letting the moment of these men collide once again as they lock up. Will Ospreay takes Ricochet to the ropes before making a clean break, and in the pair exchange offense before Will Ospreay gets in their fall. Ricochet gets one of his own before both men are back up, using the ropes to their advantage until Will Ospreay hits a head scissors on his challenger, who follows with one of his own, and both men hit the ropes before posing to a big pop. AEW chants from the crowd as Ricochet hits Will Ospreay with a forearm, and the champ responds with one of his own, leading to a trade of strikes until Ricochet hits the ropes. Ricochet tries to counter but gets caught and sent to the outside by the challenger. The action reaches the barricade as Will Ospreay tries to set himself up, but that turns out to be a mistake when Ricochet drops him onto the barricade instead. Dueling chance for both men now as the action heads back to the ring, where Will Ospreay managed to take control of the match by sending the challenger to the mat. He heads to apron, connecting with a springboard forearm to take Ricochet back down. Both men make it to their feet, but the champ hits a chop, sending Ricochet back to the mat, only for the challenger to fight back with a pair of clotheslines to get a near fall. Will Ospreay sent to the ropes, but he counters looking for a Tiger Driver, but to no avail as Ricochet fights out. Ricochet hits the ropes, but is sent to the canvas by Will Ospreay with a Spanish fly, giving the champ another near fall. Both men are back up again, with Ricochet sending Will Ospreay to the apron before looking for a pump kick. But the champ counters with a chop before looking for a Stormbreaker. Ricochet fights him off as he looks for a Death Valley driver, but the champ fights back, taking Ricochet down to the apron and then the floor off in Oscar as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. The Red begins the count, but Will Ospreay managed to make his way back into the ring in time to stop it. With Ricochet following close as the champ maintains control of the match, Ricochet makes it back to his feet, but it is fanned off by Will Ospreay, who sends the challenger into the corner. Ricochet responds with some chops, only to be sent to the mat as Will Ospreay continues to keep the pressure on his old rival, who sends the champ face first into the barricade to turn things around. He sets Will Ospreay up the turnbuckles for some right hands, climbing up to keep on the attack, but the champ shoves him away to the apron as we come back from break. Ricochet makes his way back up, hitting a hurricanrana to send Will Ospreay to the canvas, but the champ lands on his feet. Shades of a shades of a match gone by as Ricochet goes after him with an Oz cutter for a near fall. Ricochet fights off the champ in a corner before connecting with a pile driver, but Will Ospreay managed to kick out before going for the hidden blade. Ricochet managed to fight back, but is cut off as the champ goes for the hidden blade again. But after that gets countered, Will Ospreay connects with a Styles Clash cover by Will Ospreay, but the challenger kicks out. But I know AJ Styles must be watching after Will Ospreay hits the Style Clash. But let me continue. Will Ospreay heads to the corner for another attempt at the hidden blade, but Ricochet takes him down instead. Ricochet goes up top for a shooting star press and the cover, but the champ managed to kick out, stumped by Ricochet, who looks for a vertigo, 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 but a reverse hurricane counters it, only for Ricochet to hit one of his own. Both men are down, and it seems both men have their shoulders on the match. As the ref counts it, and it's a 3. After some conversation, the ruling is made official. This match has ended in a draw. The fans are not happy about this as Ricochet touched the referee calling it for more time. And we get the word from Tony Khan through Justin Roberts. This match will continue. I like that. That's a big W right there. Both men go at it with strikes, with Will Ospreay starting to get the upper hand as he set up for a hidden blade, only for Kanusuke Takeshita to run in, laying down a beating on Will Ospreay as the referee calls for the bell. That's the part I did not like. Kanusuke Takeshita came out of nowhere and ruined it. A good match. Well, anyway, the winner by disqualification is still your AEW International Champion, Will Ospreay. That was a good match, but the outcome when Kanushka Takeshita came out of nowhere and just ruined it, I did not like that. But still, it was a good match. Fans booed and disapproval as Kanushka Takeshita lays out Ricochet as well. Leaving the ring to grab the international championship, he stands tall over the champ as we cut away. Great opening match right up until that 1-2 punch of rough finishes. Double pin draws reminds me of something I wrote for F an event once LOL and ended and what's it and FN once LOL. And then that DQ finish with Kanushka Takeshita. I get where they're going with it through hashtag AEW Dynamite. Backstage, we hear from Mercedes Monet, who set up a video package highlighting her arrival in AEW and subsequent hot streak in the company. Mercedes Monet hypes herself up some more before the MVP arrives, offering the TBS champion his card to have a chat sometime. MVP approaching Mercedes Moné was easily the highlight of that segment for me. Curious to see what's being built up here after his conversation with Prince Nada last week. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. All right, we cut to a look back at Chris Jericho versus Ashi from 2022, and up next we will have TV time with the Learning Tree. Get the Learning Tree off my television set. I don't like the Learning Tree at all. Learning Tree is garbage. All right, we go to commercial break. We get a look back at the Guns becoming the AEW World Tag Team Champions before going backstage to hear from them ahead of Juice Robinson's match against Hangman Adam Page. The Guns start to say the juice is loose tonight, but are blindsided by Hangman Adam Page with a steel chair. He lays them out and walks off. Back at ringside, it's time for TV time as Big Bill talks about Chris Jericho's moment in 5 years history of Dynamite. This brings out the learning tree himself, accompanied by Brian Keefe as they enter the ring. Chris Jericho says hello, hyping of 5 years of Dynamite and the news about the new rights deal. He says they made a lot of experts look like idiots, having a laugh about that before insisting we wouldn't have AEW or Dynamite without Chris Jericho. Brian keep accent accentuates that statement before Jericho talks about the anniversary of his pro wrestling career. He gets the name of the city wrong before talking about his career, where they focus on bringing people under the learning tree and getting as much TV time as possible. Chris Jericho brings up main event arena Mexico and beating Mark Briscoe recently before saying the Jericho is gone. It's time to become the na- native noted his challenges Mark Briscoe to an ROH World Championship match for Wrestle Dream, and this brings out the champ alongside the collaboration to a good reaction from the Pittsburgh crowd. Mark Briscoe enters the ring, telling his boys to stand down before addressing Chris Jericho's challenge. Mark Briscoe father brought him up to handle things like a man, and that includes not making excuses. Mark Briscoe he knows that he doesn't want to make excuses for his loss to Jericho at Grand Slam Collision, even under the circumstances. Mark Briscoe says being a man also means calling things what they are, talking up Chris Jericho's long and storied career. He says that logically Jericho should get the shot at the title, and that works for Mark Briscoe, but he has a shot to put a win over Jericho as a notch in his belt. The word of the day is consequential, talking up how important a win over Jericho would would be. Chris Jericho cuts him off to run the champ down, insisting that he can't beat Chris Jericho, but his brother Jay Briscoe probably could have. He says Mark Briscoe is not the wrestler his brother is, and that prompts the champ to lay him out with right hands. Mark Briscoe accepts the challenge for Wrestle Dream, telling Chris Jericho to keep his brother's name out of his mouth and saying the win would be consequential. Mark Briscoe leaves the ring to regroup with the conglomeration as we cut we cut away. At this point, the secret to really good Jericho segment storyline is who he's working with, and Mark Briscoe promo really helped make this segment. Um, am I excited for the idea of Mark Briscoe beating Chris Jericho to retain the Ring of Honor title at Wrestle Dream? Um, it says I am LOL. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. We cut to a vignette with Darby Allen hanging out hanging out in the dark somewhere, talking about a rough ride on the metro on the one time where he felt the urge to stand up to some hooligans. He talks about how he that reminds him of the situation with John Moxley and how he was unable to beat him at Dynamite Grand Slam. He walks. He will be the Ta Tacoma for Wrestle Dream, and he is looking for some revenge as he takes his frustration out on the develop pay day develop pay day car next to him. With that, we cut backstage. We cut back to ringside as Hangman Adam Page heads to the ring for our next match. We get a look at Collision recently and how things led to this match. Juice Robinson makes his way out for for only for Page to intercept him on the stage as the two go at it. Juice Robinson gets the upper hand as he starts whipping Page with his belt, but the Hangman turns around. Hangman turns it around. He shouts at the ref before counting the attack, and this brawl makes it way through the crowd. The two trade shots as they head up the stairs until Juice Robinson throws some kind of beverage at at the Hangman to get him to cool down. The fight comes back down the stairs as Juice Robinson lands a shot on Hangman Page with a popcorn bucket, and we finally make it to the ring as this match officially gets underway. All right, so we get Hangman Adam Page versus Juice Robinson, and this match right here, this was like it was decent match right here. Juice Robinson lays into Hangman Adam Page early on, but Hangman Page turns it around with some stumps in the corner as we heads to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. Juice Robinson managed to turn it around for a near fall before Page fights back for one of his own. He responds to that apparent crowd reaction before Juice Robinson sent him to the ropes, but Page catches him for another near fall instead. Juice Robinson rolls to the apron, but is caught off by Hangman Page, who brings him up for some right hands before Juice Robinson finds him tangled with the ropes. The referee intervenes to get Juice Robinson free, only for Hangman Adam Page to send him face first into the apron. Before we come back from break. The action ends up on the turnbuckle as the two go at it up top before Juice Robinson sends Hangman crashing to the mat with a superplex. Both men slowly make their way back to their feet. But Juice Robinson hits a series of punches, sending Hangman Page to the corner. He charges towards Hangman Page, who escapes just in in the nick of time before sending Juice Robinson out of the ring to continue the attack. Only until Juice Robinson hits him with a spine buster onto the apron. Hangman Page heads towards the barricade to regroup, but is met with a running cannonball senton Juice Robinson, sending him through the barricade. Hangman Page sent back to the ring as Hangman has as Juice Robinson goes up top, but Hangman intercepts, sending him back into the corner with a fallaway slam. Juice Robinson tries to fight back, even a dead eye from the turnbuckle, but is met with a buckshot Larry, and that gets Hangman out of Page to win. The winner of the match by pinfall, Hangman out of Page. Um, After the match, Hangman Page looks to get some revenge for earlier as he pulled off his belt to go after Juice Robinson until Jay White's music hits. As the Switchblade rushes into the ring to go after Hangman Adam Page, Hangman escapes the ring into the crowd, but they go after him as they brawl until the table set up during the pre-match brawl is finally put to use when Jay Uso, not Jay Uso, I'm sorry, but Jay White appears Hangman was Jay White spears Hangman through it. Officials tried to intervene as we cut away. Nice brutal affair between Juice Robinson and Hangman Page tonight. Like the intents of the pre-show brawl, the match itself was a bit of fun. Through the top of all of we got the return of Jay White. An interesting feud seems to be developing. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. This was a decent match. All right, let's move on. We cut to the parking lot where Renee Paquette talks to Jack Perry before Kashiyori Shibata appears to challenge him to a match for the TNT Championship. Jack Perry says he'll think about it before walking off, only to blindside the wrestler before accepting. We get another look back at the history of AEW Dynamite before cutting to commercial. So we go to commercial break. Another look back at Dynamite's history before we cut to a vignette featuring Brian Danielson, who addressed John Moxley before talking of the main event of the night. Brian Danielson says this is where the best wrestler, and that's why he challenged Okada to this match tonight. He talks about the match being for the Central Continental Championship for the first 20 minutes, but every second of this match will matter to him, as both his title, world title, and and his career are on the line tonight, and we wouldn't have any other way. Back at ringside, Britt Baker makes her way through the crowd as we get ready for our next match. We look back at the lights out match she had against Thunder Rosa before Serena D makes her way out next. Um, before before this match gets underway, so we get Serena D I'm sorry, we get Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Serena Deeb. This was a good match. The two lock up, exchanging holds as we get a glimpse from Wire May sitting in the crowd to keep an eye on things. Serena Deeb gets the upper hand with a single leg crowd, but Dr. Britt Baker managed to fight back until the professor drops her back down to the canvas, regaining control as we go picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. There is a bit of a back and forth at one stage until Serena D takes control for another submission attempt. Dr. Rebecca start fighting back. One more, trying to get back into this as we come back from break. We're back from the um we're back from the break. Dr. Big Breaker hits a super kick, sending Serena Deeb to the canvas, follow up with a small fury of offense before grabbing her glove to set up for a lockjaw. Serena Deeb fights her off enough to force a change in strategy that led to a and trade of near fall. Serena Deeb sends to the ropes, but hits a lariat to get back in control. Deep talks counter to an air raid crush by Breaker, Dr. Big Breaker. But Serena Deeb evades a cover. But Dr. Big Breaker looks for a lockjaw again, but Serena Deeb goes for a leg lock before being sent to the corner by Dr. Britt Baker. She heads to the corner, setting her Serena Deeb up on the top turnbuckle before setting her down hard with an avalanche air rag crush for the cover. But Serena Deeb kicks out. Serena Deeb goes back on the attack, only for Dr. Britt Baker to catch her with the lockjaw gripping tightly, and Serena Deeb has no choice but to tap out. The winner by submission, Dr. Britt Breaker DMD. This was a good match. Serena D tries to attack her after the match until Queen Amnita Am, Amnita runs down to make the save. Serena D retreats up the ramp as we cut away to a look back at Samoa Joe versus Hook earlier today, from earlier, but earlier this year. I'm sorry. Before going backstage to hear from the man who retired the FTW champion, he is still angry about his father Taz being attacked earlier today, and he will look to get back get back at whoever did it. So yeah, so Hook wants his get back because Taz got attacked. So Hook was angry on that. But anyway, it says good match, short between Dr. Britt Baker and Serena D. Through this was a good win for Dr. Britt Baker in her hometown before the focus appears to be on figuring out who is going to face Mariah May next for the title. All right, let's move on. We hear from Christian Cage, who hypes himself up before going to commercial break. So we go to commercial break. Backstage, we hear from Mariah May with the address Willow Nightingale getting involved last week after the match against Yuka Sakawa. This brings out Willow, who lays into the champ before before officials intervene. Okay, we cut to ringside where Private Party heads to the ring for our next match. We look back at Private Party facing the Young Bucks in a second episode of Dynamite, as Iron Savages are already in the ring when this match gets underway. All right, so we get Private Party versus Iron Savage. This match was terrible. I did not really care about this match. Alright, Private Party gets the early advantage as we see Stokely halfway watching on from backstage. There's opponents start to use their size to fight back, but are overwhelmed before Zay and Quinn up the win. Pick up the win tonight. The winner by pinfall Private Party. This tag team match I did not really care about. It was just terrible. Zay gets a mic after the match, addressing Private Party, trying to get back into the thick of things with the tag division before calling back to their AEW Dynamite history by challenging the Young Bucks for the tag team titles right now. This brings out the EVP, who addressed the history in being here for the anniversary show before offering to do the title match, only to say they don't want to use up one of their limit. They on a crappy town like Pittsburgh. It says they retreat up the ramp as the scapegoat Jack Perry blindsides Power Party in the ring, and the Young Bucks join in the beatdown until Shibata makes his way out to even things up. The Elite escapes the ring as they stare down Shibata and Power Party. Christopher Daniels comes out and it says, and comes out to address things, offering something everyone might want as he sets up a trios match for Rampage. That sees Shibata and Power Party facing Perry facing Jack Perry and the Young Bucks. Quick match to get Pirate Party on the anniversary show. I respect that, but the bigger deal is the trios match set up for Rampage. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. And in my own opinion, there is no build for Wrestle Dream. There is no build. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, let's move on. We cut backstage to hear from MVP about what happened last week before Prince Nana interrupts. He talks about how he used to be a wrestler, but MVP cuts him off, saying that a complaint introduced Prince Nana to MVP's business partner, and and heads off the complex, not complex, complaint, the complaint department. Shelton Benjamin Prisnada appears almost shook as Shelton Benjamin compliments him on his coffee before the pair walks off. Alright, it says, "Oh, now that's it's exciting. Shelton Benjamin is in AEW, and he's working alongside MVP. This story is getting all the more interesting by the minute. Hashtag AEW Dynamite." And WWE has dropped the ball when WWE made the Hurt Business break up. That was a downfall by WWE. But do you think AEW is gonna break up the Hurt Business when Bobby Lashley shows up? Absolutely not. Cause I will give it a chance. You already know that Prime Zimbo Bobby Lashley is coming to AEW. Bobby Lashley is not going back to WWE. Now you got MVP, Shelton Benjamin, and now you're gonna get Bobby Lashley involved. I can't wait to see Bobby Lashley in AEW. And that's all I gotta say. It says, all right, let's move on. So we go to commercial break. Another look at AEW Dynamite history before we cut back to ringside for our main event. Kazuchika Okada heads out first, ready to defend his AEW Continental Championship for the first 20 minutes of this bout. If it goes that long, but considering there is a potential significant overrun, we shall see. As the Rainmaker walks down the ramp. Out next is Brian Danielson looking to beat Okada in the most recent chapter of their in ring rivalries. As he enters the ring with both men in the ring, this massive main event gets underway. All right, so we get the main event AEW World Continental Championship match: Brian Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada. And this main event right here, this was a good main event match. This was the match of the night. The two men go nose to nose before backing off their corners, circling the mat before locking up. They go back and forth, looking for an advantage until Brian Danielson takes Okada to the corner. This force a break as the world champion backs away, only for the pair to lock up once more. Brian Danielson starts to get an upper hand here, but has to evade a Rainmaker Lariat, leading to a standoff between both champions as we go to picture in picture. We're back from the final picture break. Okada heads to the ropes to keep away from the American Dragon, who eggs Okada on to get back in the middle of the ring. They actually lock back up with Brian Danielson taking Okada down to the mat before the Rainmaker escapes to the outside for a breather, walking around the ring before stepping onto the apron. He is taking his sweet time to get back in the ring, locking up with Brian Danielson before exchanging holds. Brian Danielson wrenches his arm to take the Continental Champion to the mat once more, but Okada gets back to his feet quickly, only for Brian Danielson to maintain control as the TNT Fed goes to full commercial. So we go to commercial break. Back from the break, both men are up as they reset towards the test of strength, only for Okada to send Brian Danielson to the corner before the referee calls for a break. Okada obliged with a forearm strike before backing off. Brian Danielson catches him with some shots into the corner before being forced to break it up as Okada drops to the floor, but Brian Danielson catches him with a drop kick for his troubles. The action comes back to the ring as Okada starts to regain control of the match, sending Brian Danielson into the corner before wearing him down with strikes. Hammer throw sends the world champion to the opposite corner as Okada runs in to keep his fellow champ at bay. He fights out of the grip of Bryan Danielson to send him to the corner, but Bryan Danielson shoves him off before leaping for a diving headbutt, only for Okada to evade it, clinching in the money clip. Bryan Danielson tries to fight out of it, but is dropped down hard as Okada gets a near fall. Bryan Danielson fights back to his feet here, trying to fight out of Okada's grasp until the Rainmaker breaks the hold, but only after grabbing the face of Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson takes control as he throws Okada to the corner, but Okada evades the follow up to send Bryan Danielson to the outside. Okada leaves the ring, teasing the use of a chair before deciding against it before going back on the attack. He sends Bryan Danielson to the barricade before sending the world champion over it with a big boot. Bryan Danielson starts fighting back, however, breaking a count before hitting the Rainmaker with a running dropkick, driving Okada into the barricade. He brings Okada back to the ring, but the Rainmaker tries to escape, only for Bryan Danielson to hit him with a big dive. Bryan Danielson brings him back into the ring once for a missile dropkick, followed by a series of kicks that last of which Okada evades for a roll up. Bryan Danielson kicks out and goes for the LeBell lock, but Okada counters for another near fall. Both men end up back on their feet as they trade strikes. Bryan Danielson takes to the ropes only to take a drop kick on the rebound by Okada, scoop slammed by the Rainmaker, who climbs up top for an elbow drop before getting back to his feet. He mocks the crowd before bringing Bryan Danielson to his feet for a Rainmaker Larry, but Bryan Danielson counters looking for a triangle hold. He hammers Okada with some elbows before transitioning into a LeBell lock. Okada struggling as we get to the notice gets the notice that 19 minutes have elapsed, elapsed with about a minute left for Okada's title to be on the line. The Continental Champion is struggling before getting his boot on the ropes. Okada gets to his championship only to roll out of the ring, keeping his title safe as 20 minutes have now elapsed. Alright, this match is now slowly for the World Championship as Okada slowly gets to his feet, only for Bryan Danielson to catch him with another dive on the outside. Bryan Danielson tries to go back into this, but Okada catches him with a tombstone power driver onto the chair left on the floor from earlier. That was a brutal spot. The referee gets into it with Okada as we go to picture in picture. We're back from picture in picture. It it's a bit of a struggle for both men to get back into the ring, but once they do, we see Okada take the world champion down hard to the mat before mocking him, who sit with some kicks to the head. Bryan Danielson gets back up, but is rocked hard with a forearm, sending him to the ropes. Before Okada before Okada before I'm sorry, it says before I'm sending him to the ropes before Okada brings him up to the corner to prop him up on the turnbuckle. Bryan Danielson fights out and catches Okada with an avalanche back suplex to the canvas. As we come back from break. Both men slowly get to the corner to get into a standing position with Okada charging towards Bryan Danielson, who catches him with some hard kicks before running at him. Okada counters but is dropped with a German suplex before catching Bryan Danielson off guard. Bryan Danielson stopped a Rainmaker Lariat to lay in another series of kicks, to which Okada regroups with some right hands. before falling to the mat. This gives Brian Danielson an opening as he starts stomping away at the head and neck of Okada before heading to the corner. Brian Danielson runs at him for for a bazooka knee and is met with a rainmaker lariat instead. The referee begins a stunning count as both men struggle to move. At the count of seven, the two make it to a vertical base, finding their way up with strikes as they finally get back to their feet. Okada drops Brian Danielson with a forearm, but the world champion is back up and fighting. He sends Okada to the corner, but the Rainmaker hits him with a bazooka knee for the cover, but Brian Danielson kicks out. They fight back. The fight the they fight back and forth again until Brian Danielson hits Okada with a Rainmaker lariat and goes to cover. He gets to cover this time, only for the Rainmaker himself to kick out. Brian Danielson hits some hammering elbows before Okada to respond by dropping him down hard to the mat. Okada stays on the attack as we see Carlito, not Carlito, Claudio, Maria Shafir, and Pac showing up at ringside to keep an eye on the match. Okada goes for a Rainmaker lariat once more, but Brian Danielson counters with a backslide to get the win and retain the AEW World Champion. The winner by pinfall and still your AEW World Champion Brian Danielson. This was the match of the night. This match was fantastic. Brian, despite the match being over, Okada gets a bit of revenge with a Rainmaker later on Brian Danielson before Claudio Cascano, Maria Shafir, and Pi get in the ring. They pop up Brian Danielson as John Moxley enters the ring with their microphone, insisting this is not just about Brian Danielson before John Moxley can do anything further. Wheeler Yuta comes rushing down for the save with a hammer. John Moxley stands up to Wheeler Yuta, who hesitates to use the hammer on John Moxley before Brian Danielson rushes at him with a bazooka knee. This leads to a 3-on-2 brawl before the bigger group escapes the ring. Wheeler Yuta grabs the mic, saying he's sick of John Moxley and his trio of partners threaten treating him like a child. He can make his own decisions and says if they want to go after Brian Danielson, they have to go through him. His challenge for a tag his chance for a tag match next week is solidified by the world champion. We get confirmation from Tony Khan per Excalibur that next week we see Wheeler Yuta and Brian Danielson teaming up against Pac and Claudio Castagnoli at this 5-year anniversary edition of AEW Dynamite comes to a close. It says it says hell of a main event to close things out tonight. There was a brief low point around the 20-minute mark. We prefer that to happen around a near fall versus Okada chilling on the outside, but but otherwise a great vibe between him and Brian Danielson. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. It says both men remain champion, but the story coming out of this match is that Wheeler Yuta is sick of how the Blackpool Combat Club has been treating him since All Out. Next week is a tag match that sees the Trios champ explode when Yuta and Brian Danielson face Pac and Claudio Cascanoy. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. It says overall a very solid episode of hashtag AEW Dynamite that managed to celebrate its 5 year history while really pushing for some key story heading into Wrestle Dream. I'm especially intrigued by things they are starting to bubble up in the form of MVP Stokely and John Moxley here. All right. In AEW, yeah, let's go over this. Quick match results. AEW International Championship match. Will Ospreay defeated Ricochet. That was a good match. Hangman Adam Page versus Juice Robinson. That match was that was a decent match. Dr. Britt Baker defeated Serena Deeb. Good match. Private Party defeats Iron Savages. I did not care. That match, that tag team match was terrible. In AEW World and Continental Championship match, Bryan Danielson defeats Kazuchika Okada. Okada remains Continental Champion due to the match going over 20 minutes, and that was the match of the night right there. And AEW Dynamite goes off the air. All right, let me give my honest opinion what I think about AEW Dynamite. Now, AEW Dynamite was a very good show, and I give it a solid B, and that's all I gotta say. But anyway, if you guys made it far to my AEW Dynamite review on highlights from the beginning to the end, you get a round of applause, man. Spam up them W's in the comment section, man. AEW Dynamite was a good show, and I give it a solid B. If you guys enjoy my AEW Dynamite, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content like this, because I'm on the road to 7K subscribers along with that 3K watch. Also, I become a YouTube partner. Follow my social media down below in the description. And tomorrow, I will be making 3 YouTube short videos and 3 TikTok videos tomorrow. So there will be no live stream for tomorrow because I just want to sit there and chill until October 7th because I am so hyped for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and you guys gonna see me stream Dragon Ball Sparking Zero every single day live on YouTube. So, and yeah, man, and I will see you Friday for my WWE SmackDown review and highlights, and then this Saturday I will see you guys for my WWE Bad Blood review and highlights. So you're gonna get those kind of videos. But anyway, this your boy Big Boy Snatch on TV, and I will make a YouTube short video after this video. This your boy Big Boy Snatch on TV. Have a great night. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.